But what do you think they should be concentrating on? Des Coleman paid a visit to Mark and Liz's constituencies in Leicester and Nottinghamshire to find out.
I'm sure it hasn't escaped you, but it's a new year. So what do people want from their politicians in 2014? We're in Liz Kendall's constituency to find out. What do you want from your politicians?
Well, definitely jobs. Leicester's a black spot, terrible place to find a job, really bad.
Well, this is Salima. Salima's got plenty to say, haven't you, babes?
Yeah, I just want the government to focus on the community and look after the community where they've taken funding away from, people like the disabled and special needs. So, just make sure that communities have better unity and are, better looked after.
Politicians, they don't preach what they practice. They're on about people having a 1% rise and they're feathering their own nests. You know what I mean? I don't agree with it.
We have to think about our kids too. They're growing up now. My son and that. My daughter's going to grow up. Then in college. It's expensive for college and everything. If they can do the university and all that.
Well, you certainly don't see a sign like that too often. Beware the ducks. You can tell we've come up country to Mark Spencer's constituency in North Nottinghamshire. Let's find out what people want from their politicians here. Expectations from your politicians for 2014. What are they?
I think number one, immigration must be the thing. It does concern people.
You're a local businessman. What do you want politicians to do?
All the local businesses are constricting, disappearing. I service the local businesses, cash registers, and trade is disappearing. We need some help. We need a boost.
We need more jobs. Since the pick clause in this town, nothing has replaced it. So we need a replacement of employment so we can get these young children, young girls and boys back to work. It's very important we do that.
I think we slightly extended your constituency boundary there for you, Liz, by accident. But Mark, if you were a betting man, I bet you'd have had a fiver on immigration coming up, and that was a woman in your constituency. How do politicians like you tackle this?
Well, we've got to get to grips with it, frankly. We've made some progress. But
it comes up all the time, doesn't it?
Does.
And there it is in your constituency.
The state of the economy, welfare reform and immigration are the three that are here on the doorstep the most. And I think I think we're doing fairly well on those, but we need to make more progress, I think, as we progress.
And people obviously talking about jobs there as well, but jobs are being created, as we've heard this week, and the economy is growing quickly. Liz?
Well, I still have over 800 young people unemployed in Leicester West and 500 people long-term unemployed. That figure is still going up. My recent jobs fair, I had 700 people through the door in the day. Jobs are still really an issue, but so too are people's living standards. People are really struggling to make ends meet. So we need to do more to get good jobs and better paid jobs. And I think crucially to make sure our young people have got the skills for the future that they really need. And I've got some real concerns there that we're not focusing on the right things in terms of what's happening in our schools. We need good quality academic education.
Gosh,
and
there's a long
technical
list
and
from Liz there, so where would you go with all of that?
It's about preparing us, dealing with the problems now and preparing us for the future. We've got to do both.
This is one of the problems of the Labour Party. They've got a long list of things they want to spend money on and
and
not a very
skills.
long list of how they're going to create that cash.
But people want jobs, to be fair.
Jobs and skills.
Absolutely, and we're delivering that. 1.3 million jobs since the election in the private sector. We're making good progress on that. If we'd followed the advice of Ed Balls, we wouldn't be in this position we are now. We'd be in a much worse position. I think we're heading in the right direction. There's a long way to go, but you have to have the strong economy to do the nice stuff that we want to do.
Heading in the right direction, Liz.
Now, Liz, I really welcome any good news on jobs and growth. My concern is that the government may be repeating the mistakes of the past, because if the growth is driven by debt and credit, not by the jobs in all parts of the country that we need, that's going to cause problems for the future. So any good news is welcome, but we've got to make sure we get jobs and growth in this region and it's sustainable for the long term.
OK, you won't agree on that one, I'm sure.